Yeah. Hello, folks. How you doing? You need to get T-shirts printed up. Buy a toaster, fill a pothole.
Oh no,
I think
that's one of the greatest ones. Sir.
Debbie Wiesner will hook you up. All right, here we go.
Recorded live.
Live.
This is Senator David Kniezek, thanking you for tuning in to Garden City Community Chat with your host, Carrie Parton.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of GC Community Chat. I'm your host, Carrie, and joining me tonight is Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc, Dr. Tom Iwinski, and Mike Jones. This show is dedicated to the residents and businesses of Garden City, as well as the surrounding community. Remember, we're working hard to promote our community and yours. All right, thanks for joining us once again. It's Thursday, April 9, 2015, and you're listening to show number 240. As I mentioned in the intro, joining me tonight are Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc. Richard, how you doing?
Yay.
Yeah, I know. How about our favorite weatherman, Dr. Tom Iwinski? Tom, you there?
Yes, I'm here. Very busy evening.
Very busy. We will get to you shortly. And former Garden City Councilman and longtime resident, Mr. Mike Jones. How are you, Mike?
Doing great. Not quite as good as my Tigers, but
Yeah, they're doing
pretty
awesome.
good.
We will talk about them later, that's for sure.
Yeah, they ruined their run average. They gave up a run today.
We just figured out a little while ago that you've been in Garden City longer than me, huh?
Yep.
By what, 2 months?
Yeah.
Jeez, oh, Pete. All right, and also joining us all the way from Wisconsin will be Joey and Holly. They're going to be here with their 2-minute gardening tips. Okay, now let's talk about tonight's show. Whenever we do a show and have no special guest, we've been doing our Let It Fly segment where we discuss recent topics in the news and share our thoughts and comments with you. So tonight we're going to be talking to our very own co-host Richard about his big announcement that he made earlier this week concerning his future plans. You don't want to miss that. We'll also be discussing our Garden City Police Department and how they were involved in taking another felon off the streets, which took place just yesterday. And also the resignation of Garden City School Superintendent Michelle Cline. We'll get the panel's thought on that. So if you'd like to join in the discussion, it's very easy. First, all you got to do is call 1-724-444-7444. Richard, you love that, don't you?
I do.
Enter the call ID 82757 followed by the pound sign, or join us via our chat room by going to talkshoe.com. Search at the top of the page for call ID 82757. That's going to take you right to our show page where you'll click on the large join in button, sign in as a guest, and that's all there is to it. Once you're in the chat room, you can type your questions or comments at the bottom of the page, and you'll find our phone number and call ID there as well. And you can always text your comments or questions to us at 734-788-9319. Now, we are also doing a live and unedited video of tonight's show, so you can put a face with the voice, and that's made available sometime tomorrow on your YouTube channel at youtube.com/communitychatshow. We have several other shows over there for your viewing as well, and please, if you enjoy them, click on the red subscribe button, and that way you'll be notified when a new video is posted. The audio of tonight's show will be available on the Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat, usually about 30 minutes after we sign off tonight. So why not grab your favorite beverage, sit back, and join us for the next hour or so. And we're glad to have you. Should be another good one. All right, let me just mention a couple of upcoming shows you can get on your calendars right away. Next week, April 16th, we welcome to the show Megan Sharon, and she is the Community Resources Coordinator over at the Maplewood Center. And she will be discussing the Healthy Michigan Insurance Plan available to our residents and to let everyone know about the eligibility guidelines for these low-cost and even no-cost health insurance plans available, and that there is free application assistance available at Maplewood Community Center to help residents complete the application online. Sometimes the people find out immediately that they have been approved for coverage, so that will be an informative show. And then the following week, April 23rd, we have Amy Neary, Senior Principal Planner with McKenna Associates, who works closely with the businesses in Garden City. So mark your calendar. Should be some good shows coming up. Okay, before we go any further, let's get the latest weather, and we got some rain really coming down out there. We're going to get the update with Tom, and then we're going to go to Joey and Holly. So hang in there.
Okay, let's do a check on weather with Doppler Tom. Let's see what he has in store for the rest of this week and the weekend coming up. Tom, take it away.
Hey, you've been busy, man. It's pouring over here.
Yeah, it's pouring all across the Metro Detroit area. And it all started this morning with a cluster of some showers and some embedded storms that moved from south to north. And this was on a little bit of a boundary. And that was just the beginning of it. It was very chilly in the morning. This was all elevated convection. And then we had a on and off rain throughout the afternoon as this warm front got closer and closer to us. And now the warm front is right over us, and now there's a little bit of an enhanced risk for severe weather over the next few hours, and there has been already some severe weather out there. And we are ongoing that currently. Currently, we're in the low 60s right now, and there is a pretty strong storm moving through Garden City, Westland, Livonia, and it's heading straight to downtown Detroit. So as if you're still at downtown at the ball game, if you could wait out that rain delay, more rain and storms are heading towards you. So that's not good if you're down there. But you definitely need to be hunkered down because these aren't any storms to deal with. Right now, currently, torrential downpours out there. You can't even see at times because there's such low visibility. And that's the biggest threat I see right now. There could be some embedded damaging winds at times throughout the next half hour or so, and then that line will move through, and then we'll have a little bit of a break. But as I look out westward and outward and all across the Midwest, there's a lot more to come as we look across the United States, across Indiana, Illinois, and all the way down into Missouri. A whole line of storms is going to continue to build and continue to move east all across our area. So if you're going to be out and about this evening, you should be okay after this line moves through. After 9 o'clock, we'll see a little bit of a break. But if you want to continue to be outdoors, you should cancel those plans and go to bed because there's going to be more lines of heavy rain and embedded storms as we head throughout the overnight hours, and that should be diminishing as we head throughout the morning hours. So that's but behind the storm system, the winds are definitely going to pick up behind the storm system, 40 to 45 miles per hour, and that's going to cause, again, some more tree limbs to be blown down and what have you. But the good news is that I don't think that we're going to see any big-time severe weather with this system. The majority of the severe weather will be to our west and southwest. But we could see a little bit of strong storms from time to time across our area, again, right now and into the overnight hours before this storm system moves through. And then, as I said earlier, the winds are going to be the big problem. But then as we get, and the winds will be a big problem throughout Friday, and that will be Friday's big ordeal. And then as we get into the weekend, we'll see a very good weekend. It's about time we deserve a nice weekend after we're dealing with all this crazy weather. A lot of sunshine. Temperatures will be in the upper 50s to lower 60s, so enjoy the weekend because we definitely deserve it after today and tomorrow's crazy weather. And then as we head in throughout next week, we're going to be dealing with more on and off rain at times. We aren't looking at any big-time storms to deal with like we're dealing with over the next 48 hours here, but we'll probably see another moderating trend with temperatures, so that's going to be nice. Low to mid-60s all next week with some on and off April showers that will eventually bring those Mayflowers, Terry. But if you want to keep tuned to all this local weather information, all this active weather, just go to my website, DopplerTomsWeather.com.
All right, sounds good, my man. You're going to be busy throughout the night, I'm afraid.
Oh, you know I like this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I know you love it. Hey, I want to let everybody know we got a guest in the studio. Mr. Bob Chedester is here.
Chetty.
How you doing, Bob?
We wish
Former
we could
Garden City's finest PD, Garden City PD man.
We wish we could get him to put those.
He don't want to
headphones
sit down. He's a little camera shy, so
Yeah.
we'll see what happens. All right, let's get Joey and Holly in here, and thank you, Tom.
This is Gardening in 2 Minutes. Hardening off is a practice that some gardeners may not participate in, and it can be detrimental to the plants you're taking from your grow room out and planting
Sometimes
in
you
your
get
garden.
pod crashers.
It's important because you want your plants to become acclimated to the new weather and the new conditions that they will face. Certain plants have an easier adjustment time, but they will all benefit from hardening off.
The hardening off practice is you gradually bring the plants outside, starting in shade for a few hours, and then gradually working to full sun and leaving them out overnight prior to putting them in the garden. Many plants are best to direct sow, so you can avoid the whole practice of moving the plants in and out over a week's period.
If this is your first time hardening off, just be aware that just a couple hours a day is plenty at the first, and then work up from that. And maybe if you're unsure about it, then just do half of them.
If you do not harden your plants off, what can happen is the shock of taking the plant from a controlled climate, which is in your house, your grow room, and putting it in the cold ground. Even in the summer, the soil is much cooler than the temperatures inside your grow room, your greenhouse, or your house. So by putting them in the ground, it shocks the plant to where it has to recover and not focus on productivity, but focusing on getting acclimated to the environment, which can slow down the time it takes to harvest that particular plant. For more information on hardening off your plants, our weekly video productions, as well as our free downloadable digital quarterly magazine, you can find all that information at
thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.
for the health-conscious organic gardener worldwide. For Gardening in 2 Minutes, I'm Joy Baird.
And I'm Holly Baird.
All right. Thank you, Joey and Holly. All right, for those of you in the chat room, you're all muted. I don't know if you're pod crashers or not. Usually when I get that many in the chat room, you are pod crashers. So I just wanted to let you know that that's why you're muted. I'm going to mute everybody as they come in. So I will unmute you if I feel you're worthy of it. All right, thanks, Tom and Joey and Holly. Now, let's get on to Let It Fly. All right, it's time for Let It Fly. This is where we discuss current topics that may affect our community and yours. So let's let it fly. All right, welcome to our Let It Fly segment, where we discuss topics whenever we don't have a special guest. But actually tonight is our special guest, our co-host is our special guest tonight.
Wow, really?
Mr. Richard LeBlanc.
Let the applause thing go. Hit that button.
Yeah, hit the pause button. So let's talk about it. You made a big announcement early on this week.
Yes, sir.
You want to explain to everybody that may have missed it?
Yeah, so on Monday, the day following Easter, Cheryl and I, along with our grandson, went to the Westland City Hall, and I filed paperwork for election as the Westland City Clerk this year. So the primary election will be held in August, general election in November. There's still sufficient time for other folks to express interest, both for that and the city council. You know, our communities,
Right.
those that are cities and not townships, cities have elections this year. And just as people are filling out for various positions in Garden City, they're doing so in Inkster, Westland, Livonia, and elsewhere. So, yeah, that's my announcement.
So what was why the decision to do it now?
You know, I've been contemplating various things for quite some time, actually, and for those in my hometown that might remember, in 2006 when I left to go to the State House, one of the things that I had expressed was a continued desire to serve locally. And I've been on the council and on the school board, and as a state rep, over the course of 6 years, I drove home back and forth to Lansing every day but 3.
Right.
And, you know, I thought it was really important to be locally engaged. When I became term limited, it was at that time, of course, that there was a redistricting process and therefore an opening for county commission. So I've been on the county commission. I'm in my 3rd year. And I have nothing bad to say about that. It's good experience. I think that the county is doing better than it was when I first got there. But You know, I became aware a short while back that the city clerk of Westland was contemplating retirement.
Yeah.
She and I had some conversations, and out of respect for her decision as to when to make that announcement and decision, I held back a bit. I did have conversations with folks, but I held back until she decided what she was going to do. And so on Easter Sunday, I got a text message at 10 o'clock at night, and folks had just left our house. And the message said, you need to read the Westland Observer today. So I went out to the garage to get the paper, and sure enough, the city clerk had announced that she was retiring. I did not know that was happening.
Wow.
So she had talked with the press apparently sometime last week. So Cheryl and I talked about a number of things, and at about midnight, we mutually decided that at 9 o'clock the next morning, we would head over to City Hall, and that's what we did.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy for you. I mean, if you're happy, I'm happy.
You know, one of the things, though, that I did, because it happened very quickly, one of the things that I did was I first contacted staff. I wanted them to find out from me as opposed to from the newspaper.
Right, right. I
contacted the mayors of my 3 communities, and so I made a number of phone calls to let people know what was going on, and the feedback actually was very, very good. And of course, you know, you were within that call list as well. But again, it really happened very quickly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So now they'll have to appoint someone to.
No. This will be the clerk intends to fulfill her term. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. You may have been talking about the county commission.
Right.
Yeah. So
if you leave there.
So if I'm elected,
yeah,
there will be a vacancy created. The Wayne County Commission, the balance of it, will make an appointment that will be satisfied through the next election. And so we're actually going through that process right now.
Is that election in 2016?
That election, yes.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that would be.
Yeah. So the person, whomever it might be, that would receive that appointment would be in place for a year essentially. And I'm going to get a firsthand feel for what that might be like, because Commissioner Shannon Price, who represents Canton, Plymouth Township, and Northville, I think he may have resigned today because he was appointed as the Plymouth Township Supervisor.
Oh, that's right.
Last week.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure he had to make a decision today. So
that's one of your token Republicans?
I choose to not use that verbiage. He is one of 2 Republicans that are seated on the Wayne County Commission, and I've really enjoyed a good working relationship with Shannon.
That's good.
I wish him well in his new spot.
So how long does the commission have, or before they appoint somebody for his position now, once he's out of there? I mean, Shannon, he's gone, right?
Yeah, the process allows for 45 days, and if there's no action within that time, the county clerk may schedule a special election.
Oh.
Does not have to, but may. But I'm going to assure everyone right now that's not going to be a problem.
Yeah.
That's never had to happen.
And who appoints
the commission, the balance of the commission.
Okay.
And I don't anticipate any issue with
Somebody's
that.
probably already in mind, I would imagine.
I've had a number of people contact my office.
Yeah?
Yeah, from both sides of the aisle.
Really?
One of the things the county charter mandates is that any vacancy that is fulfilled, or rather filled by appointment, shall be a person of the same political party. So the commission will be appointing a Republican to replace Shannon Price.
Okay.
And any other vacancy, it would be the same political party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So where I was going with that last comment,
news.
though, is one of the things that I shared with staff. I called Jay and Mary.
Yeah.
And I told them there's going to be no differences in terms of our representation within our communities. Nothing changes. I'm not saying don't go here, go to Westland instead. I'm not doing any of that. Everything's going to be exactly the same in terms of what we do and how we do it. And, when one of the newspaper reporters contacted me, it was misstated in the paper today.
Yeah, I know. You saw what I wrote.
I wasn't real happy about that, but I was pleased that there was a promise to fix it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Fill
them in on what to.
I'd rather not. I'm just going to say that there's a mistake.
Yeah, it's a
And
typo.
it was not representative of what I said at
No.
all. And the reporter acknowledged that.
Yeah.
So really.
But you did comment about it on his Facebook page
I did.
if you want to
I
look at
did.
it there over there.
And I did it to get out in front of it, and also because I thought it was kind of funny the way it was stated.
Yeah, yeah.
And-
And a lot of the comments are pretty humorous.
Yeah. So, everything will be the same. Not changing anything. I'm still going to have, for example, Make a Senior Smile. Still going to participate in the Garden City events and activities.
So, I mean, if you do leave, then what happens to Jay and Mary? I mean, will they go with the new commissioner, or
I'm
is
gonna,
that possible? You
yes,
recommend
it is. It is, and I will. And I'm going to do everything within my power to see that happens, and they both know that.
Yeah, because they're hard workers.
Yeah.
They really are. Do a
Yeah.
great job for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to use your influence with your current colleagues to suggest that the replacement they make for you should continue Make a Senior Smile. And
I can't do that. But look, here's the thing. You know as well as I do.
Yeah.
Anybody who gets into a new spot and tries to reinvent the wheel, will soon find out that
don't work.
the wheel was rolling just fine.
Right. I would highly
So-
suggest they continue
Yeah.
it.
I mean, I think it's going to be a short list of folks that actually
Yeah, I do too.
could receive the appointment.
And there's
if it
already names
happens.
floating around.
Yeah.
too.
and tell them that they have a commitment to our monthly coffee hours too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, all
yeah.
of that is implied,
Right.
and it will be stated.
Yeah.
But without getting ahead of ourselves,
Exactly. There is an
the
election.
year is still young. There's a couple of elections yet.
Yeah.
There's a primary in August.
Yeah.
If somebody runs against you.
Yeah.
And I don't know, that's highly unlikely, I think, but it's possible.
Well,
Could get a
you
few
know
of
what my
the,
preference is.
could
but-
get a,
But that's as good as the final election because there's no Republican that's
It's
going
not
to
a
win the
par-
general election.
It's not a partisan position.
yeah, that's true. Right.
So,
Yeah, but still.
well, I mean, it's the top two would advance to a general election.
So, I mean, truly, you see yourself sitting behind a desk all week? Really? I mean,
It
because,
is-
come on, you have
it
a lot
is-
of freedom right now. You
It
really
is
do.
a desk job.
Yeah.
There is no question. It's a working clerk position. It's not a politician position. And that's been demonstrated by every city clerk that we've had since we became a city.
And don't you have to take some kind of certification or training or anything for this position? I mean,
That's
to know the
that's
numbers.
an option, but not different than when I was on the school board and when I was on the city council. I had taken advantage of certification programs and became certified.
Oh,
My
okay.
intent would be to do the same thing within the Michigan Municipal Clerks Association.
Yeah. Times
And
change.
so, the other thing is that the outgoing clerk, Eileen DeHart, has endorsed my campaign and my candidacy. We met for lunch today because we hadn't talked in a while.
Okay.
And I asked at that point, some of the things that would be notable to have set up, so to speak, if I should become elected. Irrespective of who becomes elected, there will be what I call a clerk Bible, a book that tells it all.
Yeah.
And she's working on that.
Okay.
And has been for quite
Okay.
some time because
So that'll
she's
be a
growing.
reference kind of
Yeah.
type. Yeah. I get it.
So I'm looking forward to
It's
seeing
going to
what
be,
happens.
yeah, it's just going to be another challenge in your
Yeah, we'll see.
your future
Yeah.
if you're elected.
If I'm elected, right.
Any comments, Mike?
No, he was quite a surprise. I wasn't in that little circle of people that was consulted before he made the announcement, which I didn't deserve to be.
No.
No.
To be clear,
No.
there was not consultation before I made the announcement.
Only with Cheryl.
It was
maybe, your wife.
notification afterward that here's what I did, and so. Anyway, so talk about some other
Mr.
stuff.
Bob.
Talk about some other stuff for a minute.
Crazy. All right, so let's talk about the Tigers now. You want to talk about them?
Oh, sure. We're glad to talk about the Tigers.
All right, so you saw the game today. I did not see the game today.
I was at the opening day, and I was a little nervous because I didn't know after my surgery last December how well I'd be able to handle the job.
Right.
And I did get a somewhat elevated heart rate climbing those stairs, but I was able to do the job. I sold 120 hot dogs, which is better than an average day, but probably not better than an opening day. Mm-hmm. So that went well, and the Tigers played a great game, won 4-0.
Yeah, I did see that. And I saw yesterday's game.
And yesterday, I didn't. Well, Tuesday, I woke up and I was very sore, having done the job for the first time in 6 months.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Tuesday afternoon, I was even sorer. Sore? More
Is that a
sore.
word? Is that a word? Sore.
Yeah, that's like our new relief pitcher.
More sore.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
But
so
back-to-back shutouts.
Yeah. Wednesday, I had anticipated going, but then I remember we had the Commission on Aging meeting, and I thought, it's going to be cold, and the crowd won't be nearly as good, and
Right.
I am a member of the Commission on Aging, so maybe I should attend that meeting.
Right,
And I
right,
did,
right.
as you know. And then then today's game, I had already anticipated not attending. I knew it was supposed to be rainy, and there could be rain delays, which it turned out there were 3 hours and 30-some minutes rain delay. And that's the worst thing that could happen for a vendor is to
Yeah.
have a rain delay.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Because you're just standing
And
there.
it was how long today? 3.5?
3 hours and 36 minutes or something
oh
like
my
that.
God. Yeah, that would have been a killer.
If you had watched the game when it started, 3 hours and 36 minutes late, you'd have seen that of the 26,000 paid attendants, there were probably 6,000 left.
Oh, wow.
And if
yeah.
you were looking for a vendor in a red shirt or a yellow rainbreaker, there was none in sight. And if I'd been there, I would have been begging, send me home. Right. I don't want to stand here for 3.5 hours selling nothing.
Yeah.
When the people finally do get back in the seats, most of them have gone home.
Exactly.
Those that haven't have spent all their money.
Right.
And they're not hungry anymore.
So what do you think about the Tigers? I mean, they're looking
Well, they're-
very good. They stay healthy.
Yeah, going downhill a little bit. They gave up a run today. First run in 3 games. So, yeah, that's pretty impressive. What is it? 22 runs scored and one run given up.
One run given up. Wow.
Only one pitcher has an earned run average higher than 0.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
And some of the hitters that you weren't real familiar with have started out great.
Yeah.
Goes
yeah.
and Iglesias are off
Right.
to great starts. Avila's off to a good start. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a good year, good season. I
Yeah.
just hope everybody stays healthy.
3 games down, only 159 to go, so it's maybe a little early to be making your reservations for the World Series.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. You probably get good seats right now.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, let's get back to the county. Any updates on the consolidations that we discussed last week?
You know, the one thing that I would offer is that the Wayne County Executive, Mr. Evans, is holding what he's calling town hall events or state of the county town hall events at 4 different places throughout the county. And what he says is that he's looking for feedback from people.
Oh.
So, you know, some of the plans been put out there, and what he hopes to do is consider everything that might be mentioned at these meetings and maybe make a tweak or an adjustment along the way. But
Well, it's good. He's open to.
yeah. So I think some of this, though, is really going to be addressed within the budget, which we don't have yet. We'll get it hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah.
And we'll have a better idea then as to very specific items that are going to be either suggested or implemented in terms of cost save.
Now, how soon does the budget got to be approved?
Well, we have until the end of September to approve it, but
Okay. But it should be well before that, you think?
yeah,
Yeah, you should have definite input on this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
you should.
Well, yes, I'm just going to leave that alone.
Okay.
I'm just saying, they're going to have it approved almost for sure before the August primary, so Richard's going to be our representative who's going to be voting on it. And
Well, you know, I'm there for the next 2 years unless I, get elected elsewhere. And the other office would not start until January. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I'll
Yeah,
certainly be
January.
there for all of these discussions. And, I've appreciated that the executive has allowed me to know some things in a more confidential sense in terms of the buildup. And I made some suggestions last Thursday, for example, that my hope is that they're going to give strong consideration to. And it really involves the overspend within the sheriff and the prosecutor's department, and addressing it in a way that really is unconventional. And when I laid out my thoughts, and it's not a plan because it's just, what I think.
Right.
Actually, the two executive level people that were there said, we like it. We're going to run it up the flagpole.
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens.
Right.
It kind of depends on how you want to define it, overspending or underfunding.
Well, not really, because it's overspending. If there's a budget that's approved and you spend more of it, it's overspending.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if they can't do the job with the money that's approved, then I'd say that
then that's-
it was underfunded, even if there wasn't any resources to do it.
My bank account's been underfunded for the last decade.
You got to live within your means.
So you only have so much, and
Only the federal government
county is
live
not
outside
at
of their means.
well, the
Yeah,
county
right.
is not at the point
They
where the
think they
only
are.
thing that we do are things that are mandated by our charter. We're well beyond that, and so there's room. It's just that these are political choices. For example,
Right.
Wayne County is the only county in the state of Michigan that has a homeless shelter for homeless people.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. Now, are there people on the commission that would want to get rid of the homeless shelter? Not that I know.
No.
But the homeless shelter itself, per se, the building, is very
costly.
likely to be gone.
Very costly, is it?
It costs money. I
pretty
mean,
good
that's
chunk.
subjective. But
Boy,
what the
that's-
county
that's a
is going
gray
to
area
do
there, isn't it?
is explore other avenues to find suitable housing for folks that are within that situation, but not at the shelter. So there's a number of different things that are being considered, but really at the end of it, that's not required. It's just not required.
Yeah, that's true.
And there's hundreds of thousands of county general fund dollars that are spent on that,
Yeah. Yeah.
plus grant money, of course.
Right.
So overspend versus underfund. The bottom line is that there's a budget, and if you spend more than your budget, you overspend.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
no
I'm
other way
looking
to
at
look
a couple things, and I'm not claiming to be the architect or the only person that's ever thought of these things, but actually it's very unconventional.
Yeah.
And my hope is that it gets good consideration.
Yeah. You may hear some talking in the back.
You may. We're gonna
That's
shut the door.
Mrs. Chat and Bob discussing, I don't know, scrapbooking or something over there in the other room. But boy, oh boy, some people's kids. All right. Anything else new to report in the county you want to touch on? Or?
Nope, not right now.
Okay.
There's going to be a lot more to come, and I pretty much I say that often, but
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah.
This has been
This
a
is just the
ramp-up period.
tip of the iceberg,
Yeah, it's
man.
been a ramp up period with the new exec.
Yeah.
He's hard at work. His people are hard at work. The commission's hard at work. And
Everybody's
there'll be
working.
a lot more to talk about.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on then. Let's move on to this Garden City police chase that they had last night. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but I
I
got
did not
the
know.
Official press release right here.
Yeah, let's hear it.
On April 8th, at approximately 11 p.m., an officer of the Garden City Police Department observed a 1999 GMC Suburban with an improper license plate. The registered owner of the vehicle, Daniel Ware, a black male, 35 years of age from Detroit, is wanted for a felony extradition warrant out of West Virginia and a felony warrant for assault with a dangerous weapon home invasion out of Macomb County. Our officer initiated a traffic stop to further investigate the vehicle at Ford and Vinoy. The Suburban fled from the officer. During the pursuit, a passenger, get this, a passenger later identified as Daniel Ware's girlfriend,
I did know
25 years
that.
old, black female from Inkster,
Yeah.
jumped from the vehicle while it was traveling approximately 50 miles an hour. The passenger was taken to Oakwood Hospital and is in critical condition.
I'm not surprised.
Also during the pursuit, Ware intentionally struck a Westland police car and made several attempts to intentionally collide with other police units. The pursuit finally ended at northbound 75 and Allen Road in Allen Park. After the Michigan State Police, they got involved, used a precision immobilization technique to end the pursuit. We all know what that is. You want to explain that? Go ahead.
Well, there's a number of different items that can be used.
But I'm thinking the one is where they flip them their car, right? Isn't it? Or turn them.
Read how that was stated again.
Precision immobilization technique.
That very well could be. Generic term is PIT.
Yeah, right.
Where you hit the
PIT,
rear corner
yeah.
of the vehicle and
Exactly.
make it spin.
That's what I was
that's
thinking.
very fun to do, actually.
Yeah.
I can say that now that I'm no longer. It's actually, and it's very effective. But there's a number of things today that can be done. One of the more novel things is with cars that have, for example, OnStar.
Right.
You know, OnStar can shut the car down.
That's true.
You know, and
They can unlock your
immobilize the car.
door, they can-
So if it was a mechanical thing, I suspected what they did was that they pit the car, made them spin out, and then converge. But
Yeah.
But if not, there's other things that are notable and cool as well. Stop sticks, where you pump all the tires.
Yeah.
Some are more dangerous than others. And obviously, the passenger in that vehicle was pretty darn scared to want to leave that car at 50 miles an hour.
Well, actually, it was pretty dangerous because 2 Michigan State police troopers were taken to the hospital for minor injuries after that. Ware was taken into custody and lodged at the Garden City Police Station. Ware was housed there with minor injuries from the incident and is facing several felony charges. No citizens, this is the best part, no citizens were injured or struck in the accident. The Michigan State Police captured portions of the pursuit on their dash cam, so
Nice.
they're covered.
Good.
So good work to everyone involved. Absolutely.
It's interesting that in these times when the media gives so much coverage to police abuses,
Yeah, you're right.
the Garden City's
I agree.
public safety staff continues to serve professionally and do a great job.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I'll,
They need.
I think
more,
I'll mention that at the council meeting.
Yeah,
in
they need more
comments.
stories like this on the media, taking these lowlifes off the streets before they do get shot, and then our police are involved in it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's a good story all the way around. All right, let's move on and talk about the resignation of Garden City School Superintendent Michelle Cline. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it was a little bit of a surprise, and I didn't see it coming other than the fact that I think we all knew that there was a lot of stress in her job and a lot of conflict between professional staff and administration.
Well, she did decide, she announced her resignation, and it's going to be effective June 30th, so she is going to finish out the school year. She's going to formally present her registration to the school board Monday at their April 13th meeting. Now, surprisingly, she says that she's resigning, and yet she has no other job lined up.
Yeah, but she has quite a resume and credentials. I don't think she's going to go without work for any longer than she wants to.
No, I don't think so either. But so all right, let's look at it. What's her real reason? Is she just tired? I mean, is it the $4.5 million projected budget deficit that she's got to deal with at the end of the school year? Was it the being called a racist? She says that that had something to do with it.
Yeah, well,
So
those comments were, I don't know if I want to say they were taken out of context, but they certainly were presented differently than
it could have been worded a lot different
than she intended.
Yeah,
And she did wind up getting some
big
support from Inkster and Detroit boards of education.
Absolutely.
So that they obviously didn't take it as racist. Obviously, the pressure of trying to deal with a fairly large deficit.
And having to negotiate with the unions.
Limited ways to do it, and
I mean, it's a pretty big deficit. Yeah. That's a pretty healthy.
A confrontatory relationship between her and the teaching staff.
Yeah.
In particular, made a lot of stress in that job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think she did a great job in the area where she is most highly trained, and that's curriculum. But she certainly has had problems from almost the get-go with communications with the professional staff.
You want to comment, Richard?
Yeah,
you knew
she
Michelle.
served during a very challenging time. I mean, no question about it. I don't know that Michelle has served in a time when revenues increased. I pretty confident saying that she had to deal with cuts pretty much every year.
Deficits, yeah.
'Cause I think she's got, 8 years? Is that what it is?
I think it's 8.
Yeah,
It doesn't
right,
say in
Just
the
about
article.
that. And, that's a challenge after a while. It creates stress. You have a lot of people from all sides
It does.
weighing in on the situation, and then some things are stated that maybe could have been said differently. And
Right.
I've had a good relationship with her. I wish her the best.
Yeah.
I hope that the school district is able to, without controversy, select a replacement, and that person comes in with the appropriate amount of skill and knowledge, and just start from day one.
Yeah, I never
That's
had,
all it really is about the district. It's not about the person,
right,
but it's about the education of students.
right, and they're facing a pretty hefty deficit, so
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes.
I did have a little bit of disagreement with one of the quotes from the school board in that article, saying that if the school district went into emergency manager oversight, that meant the city was going to be following right behind that. I don't believe that is.
One has nothing to do with the other.
Yeah.
All right, Bob, take care. All right, we'll see you. Good meeting you. Hey, stop by anytime.
You wanna come by, Richard? I don't have any beer.
You don't have no
I'm
beer?
not coming by then.
Oh, I'm not coming either. All right. So anyway, I'm sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, the city and the schools are not connected financially. Certainly,
right.
they rely on each other for a
Yeah.
lot of things.
Yeah.
And they have a cooperative working relationship and whatnot, but the budget of one does not directly influence the budget of the other.
No, the thing about Garden City that is somewhat unique is, unlike almost any other school district in any other city, the school district and the city's boundaries are pretty much completely contiguous.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
almost
they're
exact.
about 95%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is very unique.
There's very
Garden City.
little
Yeah.
residents of Garden City that aren't in the school district, and very few people that are in the school district that aren't residents of the city.
Right.
So
Yeah, it is
So
very unique,
they,
especially a town, that has the geographical size of Garden City.
Yeah.
You don't see 6 square mile towns with their own school district.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That's for sure.
and I think it's desirable for us to continue to have our own functional school district.
Separate like that, yeah. Yeah, I think so. I really didn't have a real personal relationship with Michelle. I knew her as a Quanian, fellow Quanian, I thought she did a great job, pretty good job. Yeah, I think, basically it was a matter of, like you said, the stress and everything of the job probably. She just needs to step back, take some time away, I think, let things work out.
But her talents are, I think, more towards curriculum development and issues than they are towards personnel management.
Yeah.
And so as they're looking for a new superintendent to succeed her, they certainly need to look for somebody who has a lot of people skills.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Very important. So, yeah, Michelle, if you're listening, best of luck to you. Yeah. I know you're on the mailing list, so if you're not listening, shame on you. No, I'm kidding. But anyway, best of luck to you from
Absolutely.
all of us here. And speaking of school and all that, did you get in the mail, want to help build a library for Garden City? Did you get that?
Oh, yeah, we can make a donation to...
Yeah, you want to comment on that?
I will probably make a token donation. He was only suggesting like $10 and up or something like that.
It was like 50 and up.
Yeah,
Or other.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was.
Are we talking about proposal 1 again?
Even
You got to buy a toaster too? What's going on?
Buy a toaster, build a library.
Yeah. Even in my semi-retired fixed income status, I think I could probably make a
everyone's
token
income is
donation to the
fixed.
library.
Yeah. Yeah, they're wanting to build a new library, so they sent out a
Is
mass
that right?
mailing for donations if you'd like to help.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was quite shocked, too, to be honest with you. I had no idea.
Was it done
I
by
haven't
the
talked to
board?
Paul.
Who sent it out?
I think
I assume it came from the library
the
board.
library
Well,
board,
I mean,
yeah.
it's an independent entity, so I would expect that that's what it was.
Yeah, I
but you
believe.
never know.
No, you don't. But I think it was. And
It wasn't a Nigerian mailing address, was it?
I was hoping Paul Weirhan would be in the chat room, but
well, he might be. You silenced everybody. Right?
well, I did, but now I got him unsilenced, and so I don't know. But anyway, Okay.
We'll check with Paul on Monday night.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, after the council meeting.
Well, we have coffee hour on Monday too.
Oh, that's right.
So for those listeners and the 14 people that are in the studio right now,
They're gone now.
so
Got rid of them.
yeah, 11 o'clock, Maplewood Center. Paul is one of those that usually attends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll go to my cardiac rehab early that Monday so that I can make it to by 11
There you
o'clock.
go.
Hey, let me tell you, the last one was packed.
Yes, it was.
Wall to wall, baby.
Wow.
I think that was the best turnout I've seen.
I expect we're going to have a lot of discussion again.
Oh, I
on
think,
the May election.
yeah, as we get closer to that, definitely. That's probably the
Yeah,
number one
what's going on
topic.
in May? What's that like?
Well, I
Oh, we'll be talking about that, won't we?
well, I thought that you were going to soon achieve perfection.
I did receive a heads up that in the Sunday Observer newspaper there will be commentary regarding Proposal 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I offered some.
Okay. And when will that be?
Sunday.
Sunday. All right, I'll look at it. Oh, I imagine Flashpoint and everything, they're all going to be, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's really going to get ramped up. I'm
Well,
gonna
now they
say,
got, have you seen the latest commercial with the warranties, the road warranties,
No.
and all that?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
well, that
Which is a good idea.
yeah, that's the strength of the
It
proposal.
is in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of
They
stuff
got to
I
hold
don't
these
like.
guys accountable
Yeah.
when they put these roads in to make sure they last for a
that
while.
and the weight limits are issues that have needed to be addressed for years.
well, the weight limits are not addressed.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I
part of the
can-
problem.
I can tell you, both from experience and from things that I know and have read and heard others say, you can buy an insurance policy on anything that you want.
Yep.
And that's what a warranty is. It's an insurance
Exactly.
policy. So how much do you want to pay? When you have the highest weight limitation in the country, twice the federal recommendation, to get a warranty on roads is going to cost.
Yeah, look at it
big
that
time.
Look at it that way. What is it
I'm
costing
looking
us
at it
for
that
this
way.
warranty to have a warranty
It's
on
going to
our
cost
roads?
a lot of money.
A lot.
This is not something that they're just throwing in on top of the usual work.
No, not just to
And
sweeten it
when
up.
you tell a company, okay, so I want a road that's going to last, if it's asphalt, I want 10 years. If it's concrete, I want 30, whatever. And, by the way, we'll have truck traffic on it that, is twice the national recommendation.
How in the hell?
You're going to pay.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the warranty is only good as whomever is backing it up.
Right.
I mean, have you ever bought anything at a store that later went out of business? We all
That's
have.
what I was just going to say. They make these warranties, they guarantee it or whatever, and the company goes out of business. They go belly up. Then what?
But if that's
on.
one of the strengths of it, that's good. I
Well,
have no quarrel
People
with
are
that.
buying into it. I mean,
It's
they
just
are.
that there's so many elements of this proposal.
Oh, I know it. And we'll
More
get
of them
into
are
it.
being discussed as every day goes on, and it'll tighten up.
It
You're going
will.
to see the last week of April, right through Election Day. You're going to see pretty impressive advertising regarding this proposal.
Yeah, I'm going to.
On both sides?
More so on the pro side.
Yeah.
The
Because
no
they have
side
They've got, I
doesn't
think
have
They
as
have the
much.
do
they've
re
got more
mi.
resources.
Do re mi. Yeah. But
But you know what? Every
we'll check the polls and keep everybody.
Every time I'm in a group, it happened today. I had lunch with a couple of people today, and even at the restaurant today, folks want to talk about it.
I
and
know it.
I'm telling you, I have to struggle to think of two people, aside from politicians, two
Seriously,
people
yeah.
that are saying yes.
Yeah, absolutely. I put it out there on my Facebook page on the GC Community Chat, and I got a lot of feedback, and people are no.
Yeah.
So
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
Well, that last poll was fairly impressive.
That was very
I
impressive.
mean, that was
That's going to tighten
That wasn't
up,
close. That was
no doubt.
That was very lopsided.
Yeah, and I'm going to be looking for the latest one. Probably within a week or two here. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting election. That's for sure. I don't know. Like you said, those warranties, it's going to cost us a lot. A lot.
Yeah, as a former insurance salesperson, let me tell you that.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, you
bigger
can
the
tell
risk, the bigger the risk, the bigger the premium. Insurance companies are not in the business of losing money.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't name things Prudential Town Center because these things don't have any money.
All right, well, let's move on. And how about we do some announcements, Mike? You got some over there for you?
Yeah,
for us?
you flung a few
Did
my way,
did
quick, Carrie.
pile them on you? I got a few here, too.
Okay, first one I've got is this Saturday. The Garden City High School project graduation is having a euchre party at the Dearborn Heights Moose Lodge, 1795, located at 27225 West Warren Road in Dearborn Heights. Registration begins at 6 p.m. Games begin at 7, $20 per person, and the proceeds benefit the Garden City High School class of 2015 all-night party. These all-night parties have been around for quite a while. They're
A long
great,
time.
They're a great idea because before them, there was always
All-night parties.
Yeah,
But elsewhere.
not chaperoned or locked in.
But
Yeah.
there were always
Locked down.
reports the next day
Of fatalities. Yep.
kids who had just graduated a day before and are dead from an automobile
Exactly.
accident or over drinking or
It
something
is.
like
It's
that.
a good idea.
Yeah.
But the only thing I have a problem is they're letting them go at 2:00 in the morning now.
Really?
Yeah. From what I'm hearing, 2:00 in the morning. Are you kidding me? That's when the bars are letting out, for God's sake.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, at least keep them till maybe
I think-
5 in the morning.
Yeah.
I think that's when my kids got out.
Yeah, I think when I was in high school or teaching high school, we always kept the girls.
Yeah, that
there
makes no sense to me, letting them out
Until
that time.
sunrise or something. You
Yeah.
know.
And if I'm wrong, I mean, somebody let me know, but I think that's what we're hearing, 2:00 in the morning. But
Anyway,
anyway, it's a good deal.
Anyway, you have to be over 21 to participate. There's going to be raffles, 50-50, prizes, food, pop, and beer available.
Awesome.
Next one I have is the Garden City Public Library, which is asking for donations for money to build a new library, is having a used book sale on
Get yours in the mail.
April 13th through 15th. Monday to Tuesday, it's 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. And actually, it's 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday also, but on Wednesday, you'll be able to buy books by the bag for $5. That's being held at the Garden City Public Library. You can get some real nice bargains for those of you who aren't illiterate. At the Garden City Public Library, Maplewood Family Resource Center, 31735 Maplewood. The Balmoral parking lot is the better entrance to approach that from.
Yeah, it is.
And the Garden City DDA is having a Willie the Red Pig Road Rally. We've mentioned this in past shows.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be a
blast.
week from Saturday, April 18th, 2015. Registration starts at the Maplewood Center at 5 p.m. The rally begins at 6 p.m. Teams of 2 or more. Cost is $10 a person.
We got a team going. Richard, you got a team going.
That's what I heard.
Yep.
Join the fun and help raise funds for Gardenville, Garden City's only community garden, where we grow and donate food to local food banks. And our local food bank is always in need of donations.
And this is fresh stuff right out of the garden. And that Gardenville, by the way, is housed over at Lucky Dog over there on Middle Belt, right behind it. That's really nice over there. So
Yeah, you just solve clues and puzzles to reach each secret location. Acquire bonus points for funny photos, so take your camera phone. Clues are mostly in Garden City Westland locations.
yeah, not a lot
Cash
of
prizes and trophy winners. Register at Lucky Dog, 734-261-7387. Registration fees due on the day of the rally. And the last one I have is Bunko. Sounds like a police action.
Yeah, that's actually a girls' night out thing over there at Gordon
Okay.
Chevrolet, I guess.
Yeah. A Bunko fundraiser. This is at Gordon Chevrolet, as Carrie said, 31850 Ford Road in Garden City. It's also this Saturday, April 11th.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Registration at 6 p.m. Game time at 7 p.m. $20 registration, food prizes and fun. Call Sherry Barber to pre-register at 734-458-5238 or sbarber@gordonchevrolet.com. And that's all the printed ones I have.
All right.
I want us to have a couple of things coming up, too.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh,
Or do you want me to do these?
yeah, you do those, and I'll have
All
my
right.
thoughts organized on the other.
All right. Continuing with some announcements. If you like to eat and you like steaks, there's going to be a fundraiser at Texas Roadhouse for the Home Food Pantry. It's going to be Wednesday, April 22nd, 4 p.m. to 10 p.m., and they're going to give 10% of the donation off your total bill. So come on out there and support the Home Pantry. Get yourself a steak and make a donation at the same time. They're located at 36750 Ford Road in Westland, April 22nd, 4 to 10 p.m. That's a good deal. Let me go to that one. Garden City High School Athletic Booster Club and Project Graduation invites you to the second annual spring golf outing, Saturday, April 25th. It's a four golfer scramble, 7:30 a.m. registration, 8:30 a.m. shotgun start. Hot dog, drink, chips at the turn. 2:30 p.m. there will be a banquet dinner, prizes, raffles, 50-50, and baskets. The price is $85 a person or $320 for a foursome. They'll be golfing at Gateway Golf Club, located at 33290 Gateway Drive. For more information, you can contact Holly at 734-516-3652. And can't golf out there today, that's for sure.
Thanks a lot, Tom.
The weather's warming up.
Dearborn Heights Councilwoman Lisa Hicks Clayton is sponsoring the Center for Michigan Community Conversations on Saturday, April 25th, 1 to 3 at the Caroline Kennedy Library, 24590 George Street in Dearborn Heights. Join the conversation, getting to work in Michigan, opportunities and hurdles, college value, and affordability. So check that out. The 7th annual Biker Blessing is going to be held on Saturday, May 16th at Merriman Road Baptist Church, located at 2055 Merriman Road in Garden City. Registration opens at 10 a.m. Blessing of the bikes are at 1, followed by the Matthew Brotherton Memorial Cancer Ride, benefiting the Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation Ride for Kids. Friendly and free, so they welcome everyone to come. Bring your bikes and get them blessed. There's going to be a spring craft show held May 16th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Hosanna Tabor Lutheran Church. That's in Redford Township, 9600 Laverne, and that's put on by the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 396. Food is available, a bake sale, and it's only $1 admission. You can't beat that. Let's see. For more information, call Kathy at 248-477-8594. The Garden City Lions Club, they're having their 5th annual Charity Bowl May 16th at Cherry Hill Lanes, 300 Inkster Road in Dearborn Heights. It's $20. You get 3 games, shoes, pizza, and pop. Mystery 50-50 trophies for first place. Best in high games for women and men. For more information, call Cindy, 313-407-0239. And that's all I got printed-wise. What do you got?
Okay,
You got some more?
Just a few other things, some of which are of general interest, and some are probably a little more specifically targeted. Tomorrow at Maplewood Center, they're having an Appreciation Day luncheon for all the volunteers.
Yep.
That's from 12 to 3. And, of course, at 6 o'clock, I believe you have your Business Alliance meeting at the Garden City Guardian Martial Arts.
Yep, I will mention that again.
Of course, we've already mentioned that on Monday, there's the coffee hour from 11 to 12:30 at Maplewood, where our current county commissioner, state rep, and state senator will all be present.
Yep.
Garden City Kiwanis is having their Kids' Day in the Park on Saturday, May 16th.
That's
Should
a big
be a
one.
great event. They've pretty well got all the details finalized. There's going to be bouncers. There's going to be a rock climbing wall of clowns, a magic show, child ID program, a scavenger hunt, cookie decorations. Great time for specifically or generally for kids in the maybe 3 to 12-year-old range is where it's targeted for. The 19th, the DDA and the Garden City Business Alliance are bringing back our Dine and Drive, the Garden City Taste Fest. We got 8 restaurants lined up. It sounds like it's going to be a really great time.
Yep. I'm going to
there's
mention
gonna be-
that
There's
some
going to
more.
be bus transportation available for people that want to just go in a group and not have to drive their own cars. I think it's going to kick off from the Merriman Road Baptist Church, which
Yep.
is one of the 8 stops, and then hit some of the best restaurants in Garden City, where you can get a sampling of what they consider some of their signature items.
Yeah, bring your appetite.
On the Thursday, the 28th, this is more specific, but I think it's important to announce that the Kiwanis is having their anniversary dinner. Kiwanis in Garden City has been there for 67 years. We're going to have this at the Straight Farmhouse, and we're going to be dedicating a walkway for past Kiwanians, Kiwanians who passed away that were members in good standing at the time they passed away. There'll be more memorial bricks for each of those, and it starts like 5:30 with a dedication at 6 and dinner at 6:30 at the Straight Farmhouse on the 28th. And of course, on the 30th and the 31st is the Relay for Life in Garden City at the athletic field in back of the Schoolcraft Garden City next to the middle school.
Yep.
That's all I have.
All right, a lot of stuff going on, and I'm probably going to mention what you mentioned a couple times too. So
Yeah, there are a couple of those need to be mentioned often.
yeah, I'm a copier or dittoer. All right, Garden City Council wanted me to remind you that don't forget the next regular council meeting will be Monday, April 13th, 7 p.m. at Garden City Hall, 6000 Middle Belt Road. The council urges all residents to attend.
There's a good chance at that meeting that they will be setting the millage election for renewal of the safety millage in August.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because
they're getting much closer to stabilizing a budget proposal for the 2015-16 year.
Councilman
That has to be done by
Pat Squires had mentioned
by the end of June, and I think they'll have it done well before that.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, the Relay for Life of Garden City will start at 10 a.m. Saturday, May 30th at the Garden City Middle School track, Radcliffe, South Ford Road. The only thing different this year, it's going to be 22 hours instead of a 24-hour event. It will continue to be an overnight event with teams generally packing up by 8 a.m. I guess they're still looking for local businesses. If you want to be a sponsor, sponsorship opportunities available at varying levels. Benefits may include such things as company logo printed on event T-shirts and banners. To register for more information, visit relayforlife.org or call 800-227-2345. Got that?
7747.
Remember, if you're interested in coming on the show, we'd love to have you. Maybe you own a business or you provide a service you'd like to share with the surrounding communities. If so, then now is the time to contact us so we can get you scheduled. We'll shoot you out some dates that are available, and it's that easy. If you're interested, just email us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com. And it's that simple, like I said. We look forward to hearing from you. All right, also, I wanted to mention the Garden City Business Alliance, as Mike mentioned earlier, is having their monthly meeting tomorrow, April 10th, 6 p.m., at the Guardian Martial Arts Building located at 30942 Ford Road, just east of Merriman. They urge all businesses to attend and come and see what they're all about. Bring some business cards because networking is always a welcome. The GCBA's first community event, like Mike said, in collaboration with the DDA, will be the 2015 Garden City Taste Fest to be held on Tuesday, May 19th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. You'll have an opportunity to sample food from several of Garden City's finest restaurants. Guests will meet at the Merriman Road Baptist Church where they'll be given their T-shirts, which are your ticket for the event, and that will be the starting point, and you'll be given your itinerary, too, at the same time.
How do you get your invitations or you pay for that, and where do you do it?
Well, we just had our event committee meeting today, and we approved the registration forms. So registration forms are now available right now. They're going to be at all the venues. They're going to be online on the website. You can go on there, print it out, and take it, fill it out, and take your money and your check over to the DDA office, and then they're going to be able to pick up T-shirts a little early at the DDA office, or they can wait and pick them up at Merriman Road Baptist Church.
The DDA office is located at Ford Road, near Middlebelt, just east of Middlebelt.
Just down from Orange Jewelers.
And it's going to be, what, $20?
It's $20 for the T-shirt. And buses, like you said, are going to be available to transport guests, but you can also drive yourself separately.
It's more fun to go on the bus.
Throughout the night, yep. Guests will sample food, enjoy entertainment if available, purchase drinks if they wish, and then catch the bus back to be transported to another restaurant. At the evening's end, guests will be driven back to Merriman Road Baptist Church to retrieve their vehicles. Now, in each venue, there's going to be a ballot box, and you'll be given a ballot. What you do at your very last stop, at your last restaurant, put it in the ballot, which one that you enjoyed the best, and that person will get a nice plaque, that restaurant. This year's venues that are participating are Albert's on the Alley, Golden Feather, Garden City Cafe, Sports Venue Bar and Grill, Al Satan's, Toast Family Dining, Plato's Place, and Merriman Road Baptist Church. So bring your appetite. Should be a great time. Registration forms are now available. Like I said, you can go to GardenCityTasteFest.com. You'll be able to see all the restaurants. There's a lot more information there. Rick's done a real great job. The registration forms are on there. You can print it out. And like I said, the address for DDA and everything is right there. Get it over there and get it in, because I'll tell you, tickets are limited. I will say that. They're going to be limited. So if you're interested, head on over there. Sponsorship forms for the event are still available until May 1st, so you still have time. If you're interested, you can pick up a form at the Garden City DDA office located at 29213 Ford Road, or email us at gcbusinessalliance@gmail.com, and we'll send you one right out. You can also go on our Facebook page. We're going to have them on there. It's already on there. Hopefully the Business Alliance is going to possibly do a business expo sometime later this year, maybe around September. So if you think you're interested in participating, please send us an email at gcbusinessalliance@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. If you're interested in joining the GCBA, please come and attend our meeting tomorrow evening. We'd love to have you. You can also get more information on the GCBA website at GardenCityBusinessAlliance.org. And for more information about the Taste Fest, like I said, visit their website, GardenCityTasteFest.com. All right? So I think we covered that. Now, don't forget, we'll be uploading the audio of tonight's show when it's made available to our Facebook page at facebook.com/GCChat, usually within 30 minutes or so after the show ends. And also check out our YouTube channel, where we will be posting tonight's show sometime tomorrow on youtube.com/communitychatshow. And please click on the red subscribe button. We would appreciate it. Richard, you guys got anything else?
I have a couple of items.
Okay.
Regarding the volunteer luncheon tomorrow, if you attend, you'll have a chance to win 2 Detroit Tiger tickets donated by the office of Wayne County Commissioner Richard LeBlanc.
Awesome. And I have a couple of donations, too.
So I'm hoping that they get a great turnout. Unfortunately, I will be in attendance at a funeral at that same time.
Yeah.
The late wife of our first mayor in town. Also,
Just what I need is to win some Detroit Tiger tickets.
if you do,
I would
you
pass them on to somebody good.
buy a hot dog.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself for a change.
I also wanted to clarify that at our coffee hour, both in Garden City and in Inkster on Monday, Representative Plowecki will not be in attendance.
Yeah.
She's obligated at I think it's an energy,
She's
something or other.
She texted me today. She actually is going to be one of the sponsors for the Taste Fest, and
Sure.
she's been busy.
Yep.
Very busy.
So just so folks know, the senator and I will still be there, of course.
Awesome.
Aside from that, I think at the next show I'll talk about a couple of movies that I've recently watched.
Yeah.
And I'd also like to bring up in one of these conversations, can be a month or two down the road, doesn't matter.
All right.
I'm interested to know what folks think about Facebook posts and other personal actions that affect employment. And I say that because there was a pretty interesting show on, I think it was 2020, about 2 weeks ago.
You mean how employers are checking Facebook?
Yes.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'd like to talk about that. And, you know, if the non-bomber audience here would wish to weigh in, I'd really enjoy
or text
hearing
us even.
feedback.
Yeah.
Because I know what I tell folks in my office that I view as acceptable. But there are people that are doing things that, unfortunately, it reflects on the business that they work for. Sometimes it costs them their job.
Yep.
Whether it's fair or not is debatable, I guess. But
Well, it's out there.
there's a lot of stuff anymore. Social media is incredibly powerful.
And there's a lot of vulgar stuff out there. I mean, really, truly, there is. I mean, a lot of stuff that I'm telling you, if I was an employer and my employee was posting some of that stuff, I'm sorry.
Well, I think it'd make for an interesting show.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, we will. We'll do that.
Throw that out there.
We'll do that on a Let It Fly segment.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
And that's all I have.
And also, I wanted to just mention that if you're at the volunteer dinner luncheon tomorrow, we have a couple of AMC movie passes that Garden City Business Alliance is donating, and also Community Chat is donating. So,
Fantastic.
So yeah, be fun. All right. Well, I think it's ready to call this a podcast.
That is tradition. You know.
It is tradition. I know it. I want to thank everyone who hung out in the chat room with us. We really appreciate it. And hey, thanks for coming, Bob.
Bob Chaddister.
Chaddister, boy. What a
Chetty.
talker. He's
You're
a
from
real
Garden
talker,
City.
but he won't come on.
Yeah, we'll get him on one time.
Yeah, he's a good guy. All right, and also thanks to my co-hosts, Richard, Tom, and Mike. Great job as always. And to Joey and Holly, thank you very much for the latest weather. Don't forget, go to DopperTomsWeather.com. He'll probably be a busy guy tonight with this rough weather moving in. Also, if you have a show idea or guest you'd like us to get on, please send us an email right now at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we'll do our very best to provide that for you. So we hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community, so please support your local businesses. And also, if you see something, say something. Look out for one another out there, and check out and subscribe to our YouTube channel, please. So on behalf of Richard, Tom, Mike, Joey, and Holly, thanks for listening. See you next Thursday, 8 p.m. right here on TalkShoe.com, show ID 82757, when our guest will be Megan Sheeran from Community Resource Coordinator from the Maplewood Center. Good night and take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.